Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another year at Orilium Academy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a readathon called Magical Readathon, hosted 2 times every single year by G over at Book Roast, and we create a character, we go to school. It is a lot of fun. There's a lot of thought put into it, so I'm just going to link G's video down below for you to go check out if any of this sounds interesting, because I will do a disservice describing this readathon to you, so just go check out G's in-depth videos. Essentially, we are on our second semester of school, so in the first semester we chose a career path, and in the second semester I have to get qualifying grades for this career. Because we did this over back in April and I ran Realmathon during April, decided to go for the Rift Architect career, and I did complete all the classes I needed to for that career, so we can move on and get our qualifying grades in this semester. I'm excited to see what the classes have in store for me, and I'm also excited to see what all of you are taking and what your favorite prompt will be this semester. Let's just get right on into it. To be a Rift Architect, I need a Q in Inscription, which I believe is called Qualified. I never know what any of these are called. So I have to do 2 things. I have to do the end of the year TBR, which for that, I'm literally taking off my series to binge before the end of this year TBR that I made at the beginning of the year. And I'll be reading Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff. This is the last book in the Nevernight series, and I'm so incredibly excited to be reading this. I've been really enjoying this series. There is a spoiler vlog coming to my channel when I'm done the series. I've really enjoyed my time with Mia and the characters and the world building in this. I think it's a really cool and unique story that I've really enjoyed. If you don't know, Nevernight follows our main character, Mia, whose family was all murdered before her eyes, and in order to get revenge, she joins a academy for assassins to become the most ruthless assassin that there is. And then the next thing I need to get for that class is the Q, is a shield on the cover or in the title. Ooh, I struggled with this prompt, and I didn't think I would because I'm a fantasy reader, but I am going with Theft of Swords, only volume 1. This is technically volume 1 and 2. I will only be reading volume 1. I'll only be putting volume 1 on my TBR. But if you look closely, there's a shield right back here in this corner. It's on there. It was hard to see, but it is on there. There's a bunch of soldiers fighting in that, so this will count, and I'm really excited to get to this one. I really don't know that much about this one. I know we have a skilled thief and a mercenary partner, and they end up doing a simple job but get framed for the murder of the king and trapped in conspiracy that uncovers a plot far greater than the mere overthrow of a tiny kingdom. Can they survive long enough to unravel the first part of an ancient mystery that has toppled kings? I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be fun. I love a heist, and I believe there's a heist in this. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm really excited for this one, so happy that it's on my TBR. Then we switch to another class, which I think is Spells and Incantations. I only wrote spells down. Oops. This is not looking good for my writing skills. For this one, I do need a D, which is all 3 levels. So we start with O, which is a manga/comic. I actually just do not read graphic novel form. I don't enjoy it, and that's something I have come to terms with. I am just not a picture person. I tend to just like read the words and skip over the pictures. I prefer to read a novel than look and read at the same time. So for this, I think in order to kind of stay with like the manga comic vibe, I'm actually going to be watching an anime. I am an anime fan. I will just continue an anime of some sort, whether that's One Piece with my boyfriend or I need to watch the next season of Demon Slayer. I also need to it's technically more of a cartoon, I guess. The new Dragon Prince season just came out. I need to watch that. I am an anime fan. I will be just watching an anime for this. I thought about reading a novella, but I feel like anime fits more with like the visual theme of this prompt, so I will be kind of cheating, but I just know that for my own enjoyment that is better. For Q, we have a black cover or fire on the cover. For this one, I will be reading The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. I honestly know nothing about this besides that there's some time travel, I think, and a library, and I'm happy to go into this book knowing that. I'm a Mark Lawrence stan. He's written some of my favorite series, so I'm really excited to get to this one and see what all the hype is about, because I do think that this is getting some good love recently, and I mean, Mark Lawrence probably can do no wrong. So here I am. And then we have D, which is Read in Silence, and I am not putting a book for this TBR at this point because any book that I read, I typically read in silence. I don't like a lot of background noise. It distracts me, so I will just read something throughout the month in silence. I feel like this was an easy prompt to just give myself a bit of a free rein to, especially because I have a whole other TBR for Snakes and TBR stacks, so one of those, because there's only one book on here that overlaps, will probably be read for this Read in Silence prompt. Then the last thing I need is a Q in Conjuration, so I have to start with an O, which is read a court/royal book. This worked really well for me because in August, I know the audiobook for Blood Solace comes out, which is Blood Grace Book 2. I read Blood Mercy in June and really, really loved these two characters. I'm really excited to dive back into this world. We're following Cassia and Leo, who are on different sides of the court, and their politics are just going on the entire time, and I really, really, really enjoyed this. The first book, Blood Mercy, follows Cassia and Leo, who one is a human and one is a vampire or a Vespertine in this world, and they're meeting to work on a truce. Their kinds are meeting for the first time in a really, really long time. Cassia is very excited to meet her first vampire, and her and Leo get to talking, and it's kind of in secret, and they start to share things, and they slowly fall in love. It is a fantasy romance story, and I am so excited. Leo is such a cinnamon roll, and I absolutely love and adore him. And then my last prompt is a book that is inspired by a different country than yours, and for this one I will be going with Pawn's Gambit by Rob J. Hayes. I'm really excited to read this one. It is Asian inspired. I believe the whole Mortal Techniques series is Asian inspired. I know nothing about Pawn's Gambit, but it is in my Spiffbo 9 batch, so I'm excited to get to it. If you don't know, I'm a judge for Spiffbo 9, and I'm just really excited for this. I have nothing to tell you about this one. It is the second book, but in a series of standalone, so I have not read the first book yet, but they're allowed to be read separately. And I wanted to go into this one not having read anything else to be able to judge it fairly as a standalone for the competition. Anyways, that is all. My character's getting it off easy, I feel like. We don't have a lot of required reads going on this semester. I'm excited to see what next semester holds for me over in the spring equinox. Let me know down below if you are participating in Magical Readathon, and let me know what career you are taking or what prompt you're really excited about. I think I really liked the end of year TBR prompt this year. I thought that was fun to help our goals a little bit. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video and you'd like to leave me an emoji just to say you were here, leave me a castle emoji. This sounds fun. And then if you want to connect with me on other platforms, my Bookstagram, my Book Twitter, my Goodreads, my Patreon are all linked in the description bar below. Have yourselves an absolutely remarkable day.